is the Glass Cannon Network.
Hello there, scoundrels. It's me, Jared Logan, and you're watching Haunted City, whenever you're just listening to it. However you choose to enjoy, well, that's up to you. This is a show where we play the game Blades in the Dark, the incredible role-playing game by John Harper and Evil Hat. And today I thought I'd get us in with a little bit more of a mellow, dulcet tone, like a late-night soft rock radio DJ. Because I was recently watching the movie The Fog, if anybody's ever seen that. And in that, there's a radio DJ who kind of talks like this the whole time. I'm just trying to change things up a little bit. Let me introduce three lovers. Three very talented... Sorry, Joe's cracking up and it's cracking me up. All right, I have to break it. Let me introduce our incredible players, such talented actors and players. Salim, Josephine, McAdam, and Ross Bryant.
I was so ready to come in with the smooth radio voice, but
yeah, man, it was working.
Rolling in on your quiet storm.
The quiet storm.
But all it makes me think of is the sweaty balls skit every time.
What sweaty balls again?
From SNL, you know, they're like, those are some delicious, we've got some sweaty balls in here today. These are...
the delicious dish.
Your delicious, these...
The delicious dish with Anna Gasteyer and Molly Shannon. Yeah, very, very, okay. I didn't remember that they had sweaty balls in that, but that's great.
That's what they're, because he's like it's his last name is something sweaty. And these are his balls, so...
Yeah. Do they still have like DJs that do that and talk sort of like that?
I'm sure they do.
Like DJs have almost been eliminated.
Maybe like an erotica channel.
No, I feel like isn't it like at Christmas time? I feel like the Christmas time, you know, like sort of channels that pop up, the radio channels where it's like all Christmas music just at like in December and stuff. Like they always have like a really smooth. For some reason.
Or like Delilah. You ever
Delilah. Yeah. That's who I'm thinking of.
Who takes,
Is she still around?
Requests? Yeah, I feel like I've heard her recently.
Soft rock. I love soft rock.
Yeah. Air Supply.
I also like black metal, but I contain multitudes.
Yeah. I don't know what soft rock is, I'll be honest. Like,
yeah, I don't know what soft rock is. What's soft rock?
Okay, I just want to make sure I get it right, so I'm just gonna Google soft rock songs real quick. But I'm gonna tell you exactly. Like we have a yacht rock playlist. Do you know what yacht rock is?
It's like April Lavigne. Is her name April Lavigne?
Avril Lavigne?
Oh, right, Avril.
Abu, how dare you?
He's just...
It is not Avril Lavigne.
It's just... Wow. Do you speak French, Abu?
April. I don't speak French. I wish I spoke French. I think French is a beautiful language, but is it Avril?
Avril is April. That's what I was like, maybe you're just...
Oh, snap. Maybe I'm being French. Maybe I am, yeah. So how dare you, Jared, for questioning my Frenchness?
I wasn't questioning your Frenchness. I just didn't think Avril Lavigne is soft rock.
I said April Lavigne, my friend, which is her real name. So I'm just saying, I'm just translating it. So
okay, all right. Well,
this makes sense, Jared.
It makes sense to me, but I'm gonna tell you what soft rock songs are. Okay, so like, how about I'm gonna keep on loving you? That one. Oh, Hungry Eyes. Do you guys know any of these?
Aren't those just love songs?
Phil Collins.
Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Like that's just like that's like sexy music. That's like, you know.
Yeah.
Yes,
like,
you make love to it.
That's soft. But how can that be soft rock?
What do you mean?
Because when I hear rock, you know, you hear rock.
Yeah, but you don't want to listen to me.
Like,
you don't want to have sex to hard rock. It's not going to work out
all the time.
Exactly. So, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's like soft rock. You can't call it like soft rap, can you?
You don't want to like be banging the Who, like, and I won't be fooled again, while you're like trying to like get a rhythm going. Man. It's just not a good idea.
I'm just saying, man. Maybe you should try it because
look in the post.
Maybe I should.
In the post Crosby, Stills and Nash, James Taylor era. As aging hippies mellowed into bougie middle class middle age, they wanted to keep some of that wistful jingle jangle of the Hollies and the Beatles, but like divorce it from any semblance of counterculture edge, and hence we get soft rock songs about summer breezes, fun sunsets, and birds in flight.
Of course, Ross nails this.
Yeah, yes, I don't think there's anything to add. Ross has completely encapsulated it. So with that in mind, 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted...
This is the greatest way of getting people
I'm cracking up because you guys keep laughing. Wait, you gotta let me do this. This is such a great... people want the alternate intro, okay?
All right, go for it, please.
And I'm going to do the classic intro. I've been doing the Imperial City intro, but I'm going to do the classic intro. Let's see if I can get through this.
This is going to be great.
1,000 years ago, this used to be a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun. I can't do it.
Wow, you barely last.
All right, I'm going to try one more time, and this time I'm going to really focus.
Yeah.
And I think it'll work because it's getting less funny every time I crack it. Okay, here we go. 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. The city of Doskvol is a metropolis of tenements and factories surrounded by crackling lightning barriers. Inside the city is a teeming hive of scum and villainy. Outside the city is a wasteland of ravening undead. Life is cheap in a city ruled by death. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Doskvol are the blades in the dark, 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 dark.
Oh my God.
I had to kind of hurry through it. I kind of had to hurry through it before I thought about what I was doing and started laughing.
In my mind, I'm gonna Severosi.
All right, that was a soft rock intro to today's game, and let me do a brief recap. We're not even in Doskvol. We are in Imperial City, the seat of power of the Empire, the seat of the immortal Emperor, a ruler who has been in control of this empire for 1,000 years or more. And this is, we found out that this city is much different than Doskvol. Our crew of scoundrels, the Remnant, traveled here because a client, someone that hired them, Fitz, a collector, reneged on the deal, refused to pay them, and then skipped town. The Remnant had their own reasons for leaving town. They had recently generated a lot of heat because of a score that kind of went sideways. So you guys they decided to follow Fitz to where he was going and collect the money that is owed them. So that is how they ended up in the Imperial City. Once here, they discovered it's very different. It is a city that is ruled by the military, where there's a lot less crime, and perhaps strangest or most different of all, the Immortal Emperor enacted a ritual many years ago to create an artificial sun that floats over the city, bathing everything in bright light. And where in Doskvol there's almost never full day, in the Imperial City there's almost never a full night. Everything is bathed in light. There are beautiful flowers and plants growing everywhere, and the citizens seem healthier and more beautiful and more elite and noble than even the highest ranking noble of Doskvol. You guys made some inquiries to try to find out where Fitz is. Some of these went poorly for you. In fact, I believe that right now Juliette Bell Rose has one stress left before she takes a trauma.
So do I.
So, and the other thing about this score is that I said that this score might not be as quick and as contained as other scores. It may take place over several days. Am I regretting that after Juliet is almost full on stress because she talked to a shopkeeper? Yeah, I'm regretting it a little bit. But the important thing as a game master is to stick to your guns and double down. So the score continues even though our players and our characters are on the ropes a little bit. You made some inquiries. You ended up in a very secretive place of sexual pleasure, a brothel, where you kind of interacted with the sex workers there, and our friend, the vampire Ecphelia, cornered. Let's just cut to the chase. After some really dire doings, you cornered and captured one of the sex workers there, Primo, and you managed to get some information out of him that probably Fitz was at a place on Empire Island called the Cabinet of Curiosities. This is the Emperor's personal collection of fabulous and exotic items. You traveled there. You looked around at all the artifacts from all over the Empire, some of which are said to actually have magical properties. And lo and behold, Fitz was there perusing the items alongside another individual you haven't met yet. You've seen this individual wearing sort of a strange pith helmet and almost a uniform with a badge on it. But what happened was, while Valkos ran some interference, Ecphelia approached Fitz, enticed him to go back to the office to talk business, and Juliet came in behind Fitz, unbeknownst to Fitz, and Fitz sat down with Ecphelia, whom he has never met, and that where we left it was Fitz with his big bald pate and his weird sort of 1890s Mormon beard, and his spectacles kind of precariously balanced on his kind of button nose, looked at Ecphelia and said, "So, what do you have for me?" You're in a little office. I described it with, items, crates and baubles and things that haven't been cataloged yet all over the shelves. And Fitz is waiting for you to tell him what you have to sell him or what you are looking to trade. He doesn't know you're part of the remnant whom he owes money to.
That's right. So I will, I suppose, produce a little case and click open latches. All right. I'm going to swing it open, swivel it around, and push this box across the table. And in it is the Spirit Bane charm that Valkos has sort of constructed.
Right, which Abu described as having kind of like a rat skull attached to some other kind of accoutrement or baubles and objects. So Fitz looks in, and then he looks up at you, and
I gave that to Josephine.
Oh, never mind.
Juliet, I think. Did I? I think I did.
Yeah.
If you have it, then we can.
Yes, I did that before. I slipped it into to Juliet's hand.
Never mind.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I kind of liked how it was going. Maybe you.
Yeah, I mean, it could be genuinely. I could have given it to Ecphelia as he was doing his old kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
if I were a nasty GM, I'd say, well, then Juliet has it. Rewind. How are you going to get it in front of Fitz? But I am going to be a generous and loving God, and I'm going to say that at some point it was slipped to Ecphelia to undergo the transaction here. So Fitz looks at it closely, kind of pulls the box toward him, and looks up at Ecphelia and is like, "A Spirit Bane charm. Why am I interested?"
Well, no doubt you've seen many such items in your perusal of your own personal collection, not to mention the immense curiosities walled in here at the Emperor's cabinet. But here...
Oh yes, I have quite a collection myself.
Of course.
I have maybe 4 or 5 of these that, to be honest, are a little more rare and uncommon than the one you've placed in front of me. Juliet, are you still sneaking up behind him?
Yeah, let's, I have a question. This 6 coin, I know it's like more of a vague amount. Is that feasibly something that he would have on his person?
No.
It's not okay, right. That's
It's feasibly something he could have in the building. Or in his lodging, wherever that might be.
Okay.
But he seems very comfortable here. He has, taken an office for himself, walked right into an office and told you to follow him. So, and it looked like he was very chummy with the person who was sort of a curator type that was kind of walking along with him.
Look, I'm sorry if there were other plans here.
Oh, no,
but
please.
I'm going to use standstill poison on...
Do you still have standstill poison?
I do!
So
my
your bandoliers
are OP.
Your bandolier... Well, no, they're not OP, but you can kind of define what's in each pocket of the bandolier as you go. Is that correct?
So the last pocket of the first bandolier is going to be standstill poison, and it's the last one that I'm taking. And then I've only got 1 slot left in my loadout, so I don't know what I'm going to use next. But standstill poison to paralyze Fitz in place.
Here's what I want. I want an action, and the problem you'll have if this doesn't go off smoothly is that he will try to escape. He will be alerted. He will scream out and maybe alert some of... There are Imperial military guards outside. So you need to do this so quietly and so smoothly that he doesn't see you coming.
Oh, God.
I mean, and is the little interaction that I'm having with Fitz, that sounds like a distraction that we probably planned ahead of time.
It does sound like that. It totally sounds like that. So, I still think it's risky, but it will be for great effect. If you do this, he will be completely paralyzed for a while and movable as Primo was movable.
Yeah, I think Juliet pulls out a syringe, makes eye contact with Ecphelia, little smile.
As I go into my patter, of course, this looks like many of the items no doubt in your possession. But as you know, an item's arcane qualities are not always visible on the first appraisal. Look closer, sir.
And then I'd love to wrap around the mouth and stick him in the neck. Could I use wreck?
I think so if you're going to be really brutal about it.
Let's be fucking brutal.
Okay. So I think that what happens is you come up behind him and he goes, let me save us both some time. And Juliet is creeping behind him. He doesn't know. He goes, I've seen everything. And then that's when you leap. So please make your rec roll. And I said, as I said, it will be risky, but for great effect.
And was that Ecphelia's assistant change the position of it?
That's correct, unless Ecphelia would like to take stress to add a die.
This seems important, but I can't tell you how, my stress going like an hourglass. But this seems important, right? This seems important. To take.
You have stress left, yeah?
How much have you got?
Let's say I had 4 stress left.
Yeah.
But let's also say that taking a full amount of stress as what I am is bad.
Let's also completely metagame this, right? How much score do you guys think is left? Because if you are just now getting the guy paralyzed, whom was your target, then I would say probably a bit of score is still left.
Oh.
Or maybe it's over.
we've almost got
you were
this
about
in
to
the
say, I
bag.
think it's about over.
I think that was maybe our GM tipping his hand a little bit.
Well, you know what? I tried this experiment with like a long score, and now I just want to make sure the players know how, so they can strategically spend your resources. Okay?
And I think, yeah, strategy wise, I think now that everyone's so stressed out, the remaining stress that we do have must be used extremely judiciously. So I may withhold that.
Oh man,
Okay. That's fine. You've got great effects. You can do it. Just roll it.
Technical
But I'm giving you
assistance
great
for now.
effect.
Great
Josephine.
effect.
I know. I only have 2 dots, and I obviously cannot use any stress because I'm out.
Let me
You got
stop you
this.
before you even make the roll, Josephine. Let me stop you because I want to cut to
gosh.
Valkos outside the door.
Yes, let's do that.
Crap.
And Valkos, you're standing outside the door, and 2 Imperial military soldiers walk up to you and go, "The cabinet is closing, sir.
Right.
Please make your way to the exit."
Okay.
Do you head toward the exit?
Right.
Sir, if you don't head toward the exit, I'll have to escort you toward the exit.
Yes.
Okay. You're not going to move?
Right.
We'll have to use the spirit hounds. They have dogs with them.
So did they point towards like, where I was supposed to go?
Yes, the exit is visible from here.
So I
And
kind
there
of
are
look.
still a
and
few people filtering out.
I kind of like exit. Exit.
Yes.
Okay. I start walking towards it very slowly.
All right. Do you think that are you gonna attempt to stay?
No, I think I'm gonna play ball for them for a second, but then what I might do is I might, slip behind a door and try and be sneaky. And
All right. There are some eyes in the room. So you need to tell me what action you're going to use to do that.
I think I'm gonna again use. I'm gonna go to another man and undo his trousers with my finesse roll to distract him.
You're going to do that again?
Well, look, I think I'm gonna try and find some way. Oh no, actually, are there important like vases and stuff around?
Absolutely.
So what I might do then is I might, just knock one over next to someone, next to another person, but be like, what are you doing? Like, blame them essentially to cause a distraction to then find a way to move around.
The perfect plan. I love it. What action are you going to use?
I'm gonna use finesse because it is a sleight of hand trick.
Here's what's at stake. If you don't do this with enough finesse, they're gonna know that you knocked it over.
Okay.
And then you're gonna have some problems. In fact, I think I might even tick up the clock about intruder alert because they will know that they will suddenly you'll be a person of interest. So let's go ahead and you're gonna use finesse. Let's call it risky for standard effect. You will convince them that this other person that is moving near the vase at the perfect moment looks to be like a student, right? In kind of more ruffled clothes, very young with like a goatee and holding books under his arm. A roll when you are ready.
I critted! I got 2 6s!
Oh shit!
This very
Perfect.
rare vase, all the way from Aruvia with like pictograms all over it, suddenly topples and smashes to the ground, and you're already like so far away that it couldn't have been you. And the student turns and drops his books and is like, "Ooh," and then all of a sudden the guards are like, "You there!" And they're like, another rebel, and they run toward him, and they're like, a vandal, and then they've got him on the ground and they're beating him with their staves, like, and all of the Imperial military are kind of running over to kind of help apprehend this person.
Oh my god!
Meanwhile,
God.
inside the office,
Yeah, Hero, hit this roll. Look, fuck it. Here's what happens.
here's what happens. We are trying to a 1, and a 2.
Oh dear. We've been really lucky so far. We've been really lucky.
Fitz knocks he hears you at the last second. The floor creaks a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not
he
sneaky.
Spins and knocks the syringe out of your hand, and he's like, "You!" He recognizes Juliette Belrose, and he stands up, and then he looks back over at Ecphelia, and he is trying to figure out what to do, and he yells for help. Help!
All right. Well,
I guess I'm gonna try to like. God, I have no dots in this, but I guess I'm gonna try and like just get in his way for Ecphelia to be able to do something.
no, I mean, I will attempt to stop him and just jump, like, be up and over the desk and like getting that. I've described this like eerily thin stiletto that he has to like. We will try to do this the easy way. Now it's going to be the hard way. So I wanna get this under his throat. Stat.
Okay. So Fitz is not a combatant, right? Like Fitz is not like somebody who's like good at fighting or anything like that. So rather than have another action roll, I'm just gonna allow you to kind of get up on him with the razor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Juliette, what are you doing?
I wouldn't make another word or another move if I were you.
Very good. You're threatening him. Valkos, what are you doing now that you have created a distraction?
I'm slipping into the room. This is a fantastic opportunity to slip into the room. I didn't realize it was going to go so well and summon all the guards. And I feel sorry for the student. It's like that Donald Glover moment of seeing everything on fire, but instead of staying there, I'm moving.
Very good. You're in the room, and when you burst in, Ecphelia has a razor to Fitz's neck, and Juliette is talking to him in soft, threatening tones. So it looks like the score is under control. It looks like things are going the way that you wanted them to go. However, those of you in the room know that Fitz did yell out.
Do I hear him?
You heard him because you were making a beeline for the door, but you're pretty sure the Imperial military didn't because they're busy beating down a poor student.
Right. Okay.
So.
Okay.
Fitz,
Perhaps you recognize your friends?
Yes. Hello, Valkos, Miss Belrose. So, here we all are.
yes, you owe us something. I think you know.
Yes, well, you could say, in one interpretation that I owe you coin, yes, but I think we can all agree that the job that I gave you was not exactly, carried out with the proper amount of discretion.
Oh God, here we go.
And I look at him with his hands and I'm like, see, I know a tribe who normally take a piece of your flesh for the money owed or services owed. I'm going to start with your thumb. And I grab his hand.
And as you do that, the door opens and the guy in the pith helmet walks in holding a gun and says, "How about I start with your head, darling?" He shuts the door behind him. So now you've got a guy with a gun on you. Fitz is, he's about to piss his pants because Valkos has a knife on him. Ecphelia has a knife on him. You guys are right there, but this other person has a gun on all three of you. Let's start by putting the weapons down.
With that, I'm going to take off one of my items, throwing knives, and I'm going to throw it at the pistol.
Very good. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
Very cool shot.
This feels like a tough shot, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. It definitely does.
Yeah, but
Do you have any special ability that might help you? Because otherwise, I think it's going to be limited effect. You know, it's hard to... Is the knife that you're holding on to fits the knife you're going to throw?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it feels hard to hit a gun out of a hand.
Or...
You could push yourself to get more effect, but I think I'm going to make it limited.
I can't push myself.
You're out of stress. Oh, God.
I'm like... So what if...
Listen, I mean...
What if I aim for it? What if I aim for his... What if I aim... Oh, no, because if I aim for the body, he could pull the trigger. No, I'm going to go for the gun.
I'll tell you something. I'll make... Okay, go for the gun. Go for the gun. Here, in order to give you more effect, I'll give you more effect. I'll give you standard effect if you take a devil's bargain.
All right, what's the devil's bargain?
The devil's bargain is if you hit the gun, or even if you don't hit the gun, it goes off.
So whatever I do, the gun is going to go off.
No, you're right. That's not fair. If you hit the gun, it goes off.
So you're aiming for the hand. So basically, so if the roll is
I didn't even think of that, Ross.
Failure.
You're saying like, can you hit the hand instead of the gun? I was gonna say.
I'm just saying, is there a circumstance here where
the gun's going off if you succeed at this roll? Is basically what I was saying.
Gotcha.
And that's the devil's bargain.
Yeah, extra die.
But
the gun
goes
still
off
go
no
off.
matter what.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, you know what? Now that I hear it all laid out, that's a terrible bargain. So
that's like that is definitely a devil's bargain. That's like, hey buddy, I'm gonna fuck you up either way. So can I use my finesse?
Absolutely, I'll allow it.
Cool. Risky for limited effect, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, here we go, guys. Let's do this.
Yep.
6.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you got a full success, but we said that it's limited effect, right?
Right.
So I think that your knife goes flying, and what is a limited effect here? I think that it hits the gun. I think that the gun falls out of his hand, and I think he also gets. Everybody is so surprised, and you have to recover that for a second, that he immediately is able to dive for the gun before anybody can do anything. Okay, and he has the gun. He has the gun again, and is about to rise up.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. Well, all right.
Anybody can do something, and it can be Valkos again, no problem.
Yeah, I think I would have known that, and because it was a success, I would have gone for him, knowing full well that probably that he would have jumped back up again. I would leave.
And you'd be closest to this person because you came in last, and he came in behind you.
Yeah.
So I think that we should have an action to kind of get the gun.
A skirmish, then.
Yeah. And that means like pulling it out of his hand, because he was able to like jump down and grab it.
Yeah.
So here's the skirmish, and it is. I think this time it's desperate for. It's desperate for
standard.
Standard. You will get the gun.
Okay. 6, baby.
There it is.
Shit. Okay.
Come on, Valkos is back.
Those lucky Valkos dice. This new stranger has his hand on it. His pith helmet has completely come out and bouncing on the floor, and your hand is on it, and then you wrench it free easily from his grasp, and now you have the gun, Valkos.
Point it straight to his head and tell him to kneel.
And Fitz kind of makes an ironic remark, like he says to the other person, he says, "Excellent work, Charter. Thanks for saving me." Well, I tried, darling. It was 3 on 1. So you have them both kind of at advantage. So what are you going to do?
I'm just I'm gonna walk over to Charter, was that his name?
Charter.
And say, we only need one of them, right?
Yes.
And then I would like to just use drown powder and incapacitate. Charter.
Wait. You need me.
Why is that?
You want your coin, right? Says Fitz. Well, I don't have it, but I have a way that we could get it. Yes, and you need me to pull it off.
Explain.
I may have spent a lot of the coin. I was greasing some palms to get into the city, and then, well, let's say I had a couple transactions that someone passed me a forgery, which never happens. But anyway, regardless, I don't have 6 coin, but I do have someone that works here in the cabinet. And Charter's like, hello. And I do have a way of getting into one of the cases. And Charter's like, there are keys in my pocket. And Fitz is like, the only thing I don't have is a way to get past the Imperial military, who are stationed inside the building and right outside at all times.
Man, scores within scores within scores.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it's clear that we are going to be collecting interest. Yes?
If you mean that we're going to need to split the sale of the item we steal, that feels fair to me. 50-50.
The razor comes a little closer. It's like, no.
60-40?
I think you need to work on your appraisal percentages, Mr. Fitz.
Well, I'm gonna take the keys out of Charter's pockets.
And it is a big, thick ring of keys, and they are really cool, old-fashioned, long kind of iron keys. And yeah, there seems to be, 15 of them.
Why can't
How did
you
they fit
go
in his
past-
pockets? He has like those big, like old-fashioned aviator pants.
Big
I'm
pumpkin
kind of looking at
pants.
Charter and I'm like, why can't you go past the guards? Don't you work here?
Well, that's a great question. I can go past the guards, except that the item that we had our eye on is quite large, and it could be difficult to, well, I just can't walk out with it.
What is it?
It is, it's a heart. The heart of Kotar.
Do we know what that is?
You don't know what it is. Selyak might have known, but you don't know.
I have this
Celiac.
feeling, this feeling of doubt. You've screwed us before, Fitz. Why should we trust you again?
Well, I don't want to die. And I really feel like 70-30 is very fair.
No.
And I can't sell it here in Imperial City. I mean, you've seen this place. I need to get it back to Doskvol in order to move it.
I tell you what. Let's do 50-50, but you have to play the game.
He looks at Charter. Charter looks at him. The game?
Yes. You have to help us to the best of your ability.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to see this go off just like you do.
I'm sure 50-50 sounds reasonable, doesn't it, crew?
He looks like really surprised that you've gone to 50-50, and he's really trying very hard to suppress a smirk.
I'm just kind of reading Valkos and... Well, if we're enlisting these two into the work for removing this heart, then it seems only fair that they should get a more sizable portion of the proceeds.
Absolutely.
So sorry.
And I'm sure the spirit
That's
hounds
okay.
agree too.
I mean,
The
look,
dogs are-
the guards have hounds. They are patrolling the area with dogs. So
the museum is closing, and we have a guy who works here. Could we get him to? I mean, assuming no one comes in, we could stay and have a night at the museum.
You could, but you don't understand. The guards stay the whole time. It's okay for me to be here, but they will ask questions if they see you.
Right.
What sort of questions?
Questions at the end of one of their gun staves.
So, seems to me an employee such as yourself might have access to, badges, accoutrement, papers that might make us a little bit more official. What?
Official? Oh.
If
Yes,
you could
yeah,
get
no,
us
no,
some of your official drag, then we can walk around and, no one will question our presence.
That might work. And he walks around the... Can I move? We're friends now, right?
And the gun, I kind of tap on my head. I'm like, yes, we're friends.
Excellent. Yes. And then he moves around the desk to a sort of a locker that's like covered in like crates and packages. He moves the packages away. He opens the locker, and there are 2 more cabinet uniforms inside with badges. I'm afraid I only have 2.
That's fine.
And I'm not sure they're your size. Well, they definitely won't fit your Severosi friend.
I can stay with Fitz. We have a lot to catch up with. Learn to be friends.
Sure. So how have you been?
Not now, idiot.
Right. No, we'll wait. Yeah, it's not the time.
So, we go with Charter?
Yes.
Now, what's the way of getting out?
I mean, that's the problem. I mean, the guards. There's guards on the front door, and there isn't really a back exit.
Well, you've been cooking this for quite some time, haven't you? You've been stewing this in this little brain of yours since before you sent us on that mission at the Childermass estate. You've been wanting to come here and filch that art. So, why don't you tell me your plan? And then we'll have a little brainstorm and see if we can punch it up for you. How are you going to move it?
Well, I was going to... I mean, once we're free of the cabinet, it shouldn't be too hard to get it to the train station. And Charter here has... it's really quite ingenious. A case that we can use that has secret compartments inside of it.
Well, aren't you an ingenious little friend?
Yes.
I can tell we're working with masterminds here, Ducky. So,
How large is this?
It's and he is like about the size of your head.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's...
Okay.
Why can't we just smuggle that out some other means?
Well, I mean, that's what we're trying to do. And if you want to know what our plan was, then I will share it with you. We were going to hire a group of, well, they're street children to create a distraction. In fact, they're probably outside right now. We haven't been able to make the rendezvous with them, so who knows how long they'll stay.
Well, why don't you two make that rendezvous then?
Or
With Valkos and
yeah,
Fitz.
that's a great idea. And I kind of pick Fitz up. I'm like, let's go, friend. Let's go see these street children, shall we?
Yes, excellent. Right. So the only problem is we can't, you and I, not in uniform, can't just walk past the guards right now.
Why?
Well, I don't work here and neither do you.
But we were all evacuated out of the building. These street children are obviously outside of the building, aren't they?
So we just say that we got distracted and we're leaving later? I mean,
Well, you were here to negotiate a deal, were you not? Were you breaking the rules by just being in this room?
I mean, they've locked up. It'll be suspicious, but if you think that we can talk our way out, then I'm ready to try.
Perhaps
know
one of
that
us.
you-
You can. I kind of look at Juliet and smile and I'm like,
Very good. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
you won't just try. Your life's on the line, Fitz. I kind of tap him on the head playfully with the pistol and put it in and hide it in a pocket.
All right, let's get these uniforms on first. Get changed. We like slip on the uniforms.
Right.
Very good.
A little bit of
So,
that makeup
Charter
coming off
says,
on the collar of the uniform. And
Charter says, well, if you're ready, then follow me.
you've got that case on you then, have you, darling?
Well, no, it's at my lodgings.
Oh my.
Oh,
Do we have our case? Do you have your case?
I packed heavy, right? So the thing is, I packed heavy like on the trip here. So it kind of doesn't make sense to
I feel
have
like
it.
it's stretching believability that, unbeknownst to us, Ekphilia had a costume case the entire time.
No,
But
yeah, I
that's
wouldn't
what-
have the
Isn't
trunk.
that what Ekphilia came with? Like that was the whole way we got in was with that trunk with hidden compartments?
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
but not necessarily to the cabinet.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right.
Not to work against us, but
No, don't work
Luke-
against you. In fact, if there's something else in your loadout that would help, please use it.
looking.
We established that case was quite large, though, so we have to stick to the fiction that we established. But if there's something else one of you has that will help, use it by all
Right.
means.
looking for big box, big bag. No,
Oh, here it is. Giant collapsible box.
Yeah, right.
perfect. Okay, so since there's nothing on the loadout, maybe like look, you're an official at this little cabinet. Don't you and your archives have things to real movers to move the product
Yes, I mean, we
around
could use
with?
one of these crates. Do you want
Bunch
to
of
use
crates and dollies and things.
it? Yes,
I
we
think
can
we-
use one of these crates.
I don't think we can be seen exiting with it. That is the problem.
Thank you. That is the problem. I mean, they're going to check the box.
Okay.
Is there a way?
This
Are there windows in this place? Could it
Yeah,
be lowered out of a
we got
window?
questions.
We're not supposed to play in the score, but since the score is 3 days old at this point, I'm going to let you ask these questions.
And now
So,
there's a mini score in the other score.
there's a mini score inside the score. Please choose your approach and the detail.
The score's a fractal.
We're playing the game in a weird way, and I'm going to keep rolling with it.
Can I? Oh, go on.
There are windows that are heavily barred.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Can I have the uniform on and still have my like bustle skirt bottom?
Well, certainly. I mean, come on, in the Imperial City, females don't wear pants. It's not fashionable. It's not that they can't, it's that it's not fashionable.
Right. So, look, in the past, if we like flash back to episode, I don't know, was it 4 that we did? Or one of them? I have snuck stuff out in the bustle of Juliet's skirt in the past.
You
And,
have.
and once again, not to work against us, but are we changing out of our regular clothes into these uniforms, and that's our ticket out of the building?
No, that's what I'm saying. Could I have the uniform on and have my bustle skirt? That's what I was saying.
It's
Uniform
more of a
over
jacket
bustle.
and
Yes.
a pith helmet.
Exactly.
More of a
there.
jacket
exactly.
and a pith helmet.
So it's jacket,
Okay.
helmet, skirt is on. We could try this.
Who's making their move first? Valkos and Fitz, or
I think we'll go to leave the building first.
And Juliet puts her hand on Valkos's arm, just says, "Be careful."
So Valkos and Fitz exit the office, and Fitz looks at Valkos and says, "Let me do the talking and just act casual." And then Fitz turns around, and you can see him walking really fast with sweat coming down his brow.
I'm
Totally
with
not
him.
suspicious.
I'm constantly with him, and as I'm like next to him, I've got like my hand in like interlocked with his, so almost like as if we're a couple.
So the guards that are normal, okay, no problem. Yes, and at first he's like, "What?" And then he's like, "Okay." And here's what's good: your crit means that the guards that were all inside the building, they seem to have dragged off that student or something, and they are not present.
Great. So,
But there are 2 guards on the door, and when you guys arrive, they turn around and go, "Halt! Why are you in this building after hours?"
we were leaving.
Yes, yes. Allow me to explain. I am actually a researcher here, and it's very funny. So I got very embroiled in my research, which, if you check with Charter Swiftwhistle, was completely sanctioned, and I do have a pass to look into the archives here, and I became completely engrossed with my research and did not hear the closing bell, did I? Did I, friend? Did I? So basically, well, my research is pretty fascinating. There are ancient Eruvian artifacts that some say were created by the Eruvian gods. Now, the god of death in Eruvia is an interesting personage. It seems that he actually also exemplifies light, the light of death. See, the Eruvians believe that the sun does exist in the death zone. So, and the guards are kind of like, what is happening? And then Fitz takes his 2 consort.
Ooh.
Oh.
And he rolls them.
Oh.
Cool.
And we'll find out how he did when we come back from break.
Oh, come on, man.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors and end this score one way or another. Very good. So we are back, and we've just seen Fitz try to talk his way out of the Cabinet of Curiosities with Valkos at his side. They are talking to the Imperial military, and Fitz is giving the story that he is a researcher who stayed after hours accidentally. He rolled his consort to see if they believe him. And what do you think he rolled, guys?
Man, I don't know, man. Come on, stop killing me.
Jared,
I'm
tell
right by
us.
him.
He rolled a 5 and a 2. So he rolled a 5. So that means
okay.
success with a consequence. And the consequence is that while the door guards are talking to him, some of the guards that were formerly inside come back over and are like, "What's happening?" And the door guard goes, "It's fine. Get out of here." You can tell that he was mostly just bored by Fitz's long story and is just trying to get rid of him. So it's like,
Okay.
"Get out." But that has drawn over the internal guards, the guards that stay stationed inside the building, and some of them are going back in. In fact, how many are going back in? 2. Only 2.
Okay. What the freaking heavy armored guards?
And so Fitz says, "Follow me. It should be these urchins waiting for us just around the corner."
And I'm gonna just squeeze his arm more and be like, "Beginning to like you even more, Fitz. Keep talking."
Yes, I handled that quite deftly, didn't I?
Incredibly well.
Yes, well, these children, that they should be able to create a sufficient distraction for us. Just follow me. And he takes you around the side of the building. Meanwhile, Charter, Swiftwhistle, Ecphelia, and Juliet enter the restricted section. You're able to get in before those other guards even enter. And Charter takes you deep into the restricted section. You can see that these cases, they're not just like glass around something where they could be easily broken. They're like these sort of, there is like a little window to see inside them, but they're like heavily like fortified. And in fact, you even see one that looks like it's like the size of a human lying down, with like lots of locks and bolts and things on it, some sort of sarcophagus. So there are a lot of strange things back here. But Charter takes you to one of these like heavily locked up, bolted, they look like trunks on the ground, and says, "It's in here. Just give me my keys."
Right. Why don't you tell me which key to use?
Yes, it's the one with the pointed tip there.
Okay.
It's marked 17.
And I'm going to open the trunk then.
Wait, are you going to open it?
Yes, unless
you have any objections?
No objection, but it is trapped. There is a sort of a way to work the key.
Okay, fine. I'll hand him the key.
All right, Charter, you do the honors. And remember, while you've got your pick, I've got mine.
Right pick. Yes, I understand. Okay, please stand back because even I can get this wrong sometimes, and quite a lot of gas will be released. Sort of a pneumatic lock opens, and Charter lifts the heavy lid. Charter reaches in to, there's like kind of like velvet inside, and Charter pulls out a heart. And yes, it does look like a living creature's heart, like a dead heart, but it is the size of a head or a basketball. Who was Kotar? Whoever Kotar was quite large. And Charter holds it up and says, "The heart of Kotar. Lamasu, Aranantita, Mokafasa, Gonovadi."
That's enough of that. That's enough of that.
Boom, 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 boom. It starts pulsating. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
I'm gonna take it.
Boom, boom. Oh, you wish that you could. But unfortunately, as it starts beating, the beating fills your ears.
Oh
and
my
suddenly,
God.
Charter's Swiss whistle seems like the most powerful, the most courageous, the most valorous hero that you have ever known.
This is the last time we're gonna let Jared keep talking.
Behold, the real distraction. Boom, 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 boom. There are no children outside. Boom, 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 boom.
Should have spent
Boom,
my
boom.
You
stress.
sly fox.
Now kneel before Charter Swift Whistle.
Is there anything we can do to resist this, or is it just...
God, I was waiting to read his mind, and I should have done it earlier.
Well, it didn't result from a bad roll, so I don't think that you can resist this, but I do think you need an action right now, unless you voluntarily want to fall to your knees.
No,
because
no,
you
no, no.
really want to listen and do what Charter is telling you to do. So you can use an action to kind of break free of this spell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But Charter, he feels like your ally, like your friend, even though he is spitting insults at you.
So we couldn't, like, harm him right now.
You could try.
What?
This is where there's a definite TPK here, guys.
I mean, it could be. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna try to grab it out of his hands then. Unless his spell, I'm too caught in the glamour of the heart of Qatar.
Well, it'll just be difficult, right? So,
Right.
Let's see. What action are you going to use?
To snag it from him. I mean, I feel like I finesse everything, but finesse seems like the thing to do.
Okay, so here's the situation. You are tier 1. The Heart of Kotar is tier 3.
Right.
This would be a desperate action because you will take mental harm if you fail.
Okay.
And it will be for standard effect. You'll get the heart, but unfortunately, because the heart is tier 3 and you are tier 1, You cannot do it unless we somehow mitigate some of its tier by affecting its potency in some way. Boom, boom.
Affecting the
boom, boom,
potency of the
boom,
heart.
boom. How powerful it is. Its power over you
Right. No,
needs to somehow be affected.
But any thing I would do to affect its potency would also be affected by its tier.
No, not necessarily. You are
Okay.
trying to act directly against him right now.
Right.
Can I? Oh,
Okay, alt plan then maybe. Instead of grabbing... Okay, so I was gonna go to grab...
no! Oh
Because
my
like
god!
I say yes, I will, and then I try to sweep his legs out from under him so that he drops the heart.
Okay.
That may have the same tier effect, but I'm trying to get it
Unfortunately,
away
it
from
does.
him. That's the
Unfortunately,
idea.
it does, and if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and narrate that you attempt that. I'm not going to make you take stress and a bunch of things for it.
Okay.
You attempt that, and
Great.
as you just kind of fumble and trip a little bit, like your body won't let you, and Charter steps over you and begins walking toward the exit.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Valkos,
Outside or-
Okay.
you're in an empty alleyway with Fitz.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Fitz says, "I just need to whistle for them," and
Wait.
reaches into his coat.
I'm just like, where are the children, Fitz?
I mean, you know children. They lose track of time, but I can whistle for them. Let me just get the whistle here out of my coat pocket.
Surely.
And
Surely, you said that they were prepared, but they
Fitz-
were ready.
Fitz pulls something out of his coat pocket. It is a long, it looks like an ivory tusk covered in script, like carved script. And he tries to swipe at you.
If he does that, can I retaliate and attempt to counter that with my skirmish? Because I am locked in with him.
Oh yeah!
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Get him!
What would the position be?
The position will be desperate because I gotta tell you, this thing he's carrying is some other type of magical artifact. And as he swings it at you, you see black drops of some sort of ichor flicking off the end of it.
Desperate with what
Desperate.
kind of effect?
Standard effect, you'll beat his ass.
Alright. I just critted, my friend.
Oh, shit.
Critted!
Holy
Describe
smoke.
what happens to Fitz.
So as he goes to stab me with this sort of horned tusk, I think I'm able to kind of, again, with years of practice of seeing what a fighter's like and him not necessarily being much of a fighter, I see it a mile away and I'm able to almost jujitsu it and just deflect it and put it back into his neck. And I'm like, you are a foolish, foolish man.
Oh, what have you done? And now black ichor is dripping from his eyes and his nose and his mouth, and he starts to swell up and get kind of green.
Does this look familiar to me or no? Have I ever seen this before or no?
I don't think you have.
I'm like, you should have just helped us. What's wrong with you? You look unwell.
One of his eyes pops.
No!
And I kind of take the tusk out and push him away from me.
The tusk burns your hand.
Oh my god. Okay, well then I just literally just push him away.
Do you drop the tusk as well?
Well, if it burns so when you say it burns my hand, do you mean like it's like the reaction should make me drop it, or can I still grab hold of it?
You could keep it, but you can feel whatever that fluid is kind of on your fingers, and it's
Okay.
uncomfortable. Right now, it's
I-
uncomfortable.
So yeah, I'm not gonna hold on to this thing, because if it's gonna do the same thing to me than what it did to him, I'm totally fine. So I kind of push him away.
He lands on the ground, and you can see his entire torso inflating, and he's like, using that may have been a mistake. And then that's when he doesn't explode, but he kind of pops like a overripe fruit. and then an enormously horrible smell is released.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get out of the alleyway.
Great. As Valkos runs back down the alleyway, what's happening back in the restricted section?
Okay, can I try to use standstill poison on the heart?
Is standstill poison, what like tier is that?
Let's see. Standstill poison is
Like, does it have like a quality level?
it's set. Okay, well in the book it says tier 4.
Really?
No, yes, yeah, IV 4. I was like, I'm not reading this wrong, am I?
Then I'm gonna rule that you can certainly try that.
Yeah, and it's just a one-time use because they're consumable, right? So I've got another bandolier. This is my last slot, the second bandolier.
Yeah. Wait,
No,
I'm
first
just looking
slot in
for
the second bandolier, but yeah.
standstill tier 4. Yeah. Followed by a number of uses if they're a consumable
Right.
one. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. You can try this. So because
Ooh,
you're
there
not
we go.
trying to act against Charter himself, and you are just trying to kind of inject this into the heart, I think it's still difficult, but I think that you
Yeah.
can try it. Okay.
Okay.
It's your syringe from earlier, probably, right? So
Yeah, or I can try and do a blowgun so I don't have to get blowgun and dart. It's part of the free items that I just always have, apparently.
Would you like to try that instead? Which would you like to do?
Yeah, let's try and... No, I'm just gonna go up and try to just syringe it.
Okay, so you're still sort of acting against them. So I'm going to say that it is desperate, because if you fail, you will take mental health damage and you will not have injected it. Okay?
My insight sort of thingy section is full already to like mark desperate XP.
Well then, unfortunately, you cannot get more desperate XP.
Yeah, so got to even mine's full as well.
You can't bank it into a different
Okay.
area.
Very
Well,
desperate.
maybe, yeah. Can I use Tinker here? Using
Yes,
my
because you're
alchemicals
tinkering
and
with things, right?
cinders
I'll
and
allow
just
it.
Getting it at the precise part of the heart.
Sure, I'll allow it. You're using your equipment and you're kind of like setting it up to like inject this thing. And
Yeah.
so it's desperate for standard effect. You will inject standstill poison into the heart.
Okay. Desperate. Standard. Here we go.
Success.
There's a success with a consequence. There's a
Success
4.
with a consequence, and here is the consequence, okay? The consequence is I'm going to go ahead and give you a level 1 harm,
Yeah.
okay? And that level 1 harm is weeping. Having acted against the heart, you suddenly are filled with remorse and a self-hatred, and because we know that Juliet likes to mourn, she begins weeping
Oh.
uncontrollably. However, you have ticked down the tier of the heart, right, by 1 tick, right?
Okay.
So now I can tell you that acting against Charter is possible with limited effect. If you tick it down 1 more,
Okay.
you can have standard or great effect.
Okay.
Okay? But the bump, 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 bump suddenly is like, and it stops like beating, but it's still shining, and the effect over Charter Swift Whistle is still, boy, what a weird name I chose. It's still, it's still kind of hanging over Charter, so it's not completely mitigated or neutralized yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Charter sees what you've done, yanks the standstill poison needle out, and begins running for the exit.
Oh shit.
Okay. Here's
Ophelia.
I'll do something.
I mean, Ophelia.
Yeah, darling. Darling. You're brilliant. You're brilliant. Now we take him down. And I'm able to have that confidence when looking at you, and then when I look back at him, I'm still like feel a sense of awe. But I will take off on my loadout a Demon Bane charm. So let's say it's a ring that McAdam had on his finger, sort of like onyx with swirling colors in it to keep the forces of demonic or godly entities away. And that ring, he will like shink, like drop down the shaft of that stiletto and whip it at the running charter. So the idea is to like, he's transformed this regular fine weapon into an arcane weapon.
Right. I like it. I like it. So it's kind of over the stiletto, yeah, let's give it a shot. I don't
know how that will affect tier stuff, but hopefully it does.
I don't know either. So you are throwing it at Charter?
I think I might even want to sink it into the heart, since I'm trying to like disable its potency. I want to get this charm that might have a repellent or atropoic, what is it, the quality on the whatever the spirit is that's animating the heart.
What action are you going to use?
Finesse, to throw it.
Throw it right at the heart,
that's
right?
What I use. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and give me that roll? It's going to be desperate again, and it will, because if you fail, you're going to take mental harm, and it's going to be higher than a level 1, which Juliet took just for a complication. And you're not only going to fail, you're going to take a higher level harm. If you succeed, you will embed this ring into... So this is desperate for standard effect.
Here we go. Desperate. Standard. Bing. Bing. Oh.
Yes.
And I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Yes.
6, a 3, and a 4.
You whip your stiletto at the heart. It flies over and embeds itself, and the ring kind of slides down and touches the heart. And when that happens, like, you see that there's some sort of reaction, right? Like suddenly all of that glow and aura around Charter kind of it gets muddied for a second. Now there are kind of like blue hues in that aura, and like even kind of like a brown hue kind of creeping in, and Charter is like trying to yank the stiletto out of the heart, desperately.
Take him.
Should we run after?
Let's find out in a second. Valkos, your friends aren't out yet, and it seems like they should have been out by now. There are 2 guards on the door.
I'm gonna go up to them and be like, there's something that smells so foul in that alleyway over there. I heard screaming, horrible noises. Please help.
Didn't we just eject you from the museum?
Yes, you did. And the very same man who was next to me just turned green and blew up. It sounds crazy, I know. But please, look for yourself.
I think you need to lie to these guys, and if you fail, they are going to... I'm going to tick up the intruder alert clock, and you'll have to kind of deal with them.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Valkos, master of spinning tales.
No, I'm not that good, man.
Valkos worm tongue.
Ain't my jam, bro. Okay, I'm going to use... I can't use command because that's very...
I'm going to make it limited if you use command, because these guys don't like to be commanded.
Even if it's... Could it be almost like a command out of fear? So the idea is like, you know the way in which it's like, please, you have to help me, you have to help me.
That's... Nah. Well, you know what? You're allowed to use any action for any role. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to show me how you command them, and then you can roll, and I'll decide the effect based on that.
So it's almost like, Valkos comes in and he's like, you must help. You have to help. There was a man in the alleyway, the very same man that I was next to. He just turned green and exploded. I'm not crazy. You must help me. You must help me, please. You are the only people who can help me.
I like that. I like that. Risky for standard effect.
Yeah. 5.
A 5.
Okay,
Success
okay.
with a consequence.
Wait,
The
that was just one
consequence-
die?
I know,
The
man.
consequence is going to be, listen to here. I am going to make them leave the door unguarded, but I am ticking up that clock.
Okay.
Okay.
You are at 3 on the intruder alert clock.
Okay. Okay.
How many
Um,
tips do we have left?
You have
Three
You're at
left.
3.
Okay.
So they go running around the corner to see what happened, and the door is unguarded. But you do know, Valkos, that there are 2 guards inside.
Shit. Of course. Oh man.
You can do this. You can do this.
So let's go back to our friends Juliet and Ekphilia. Charter is trying to rip the stiletto from out of the heart. What do you do?
I'm gonna chase after Charter, yeah?
Yeah,
Can we do this in a simultaneous manner? Like
both
the
of
two
you
us?
together.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you lead a group action to
Ooh,
I love it.
whip
yeah.
Charter's ass?
Let's
Yeah.
yes. The maneuver is whip Charter's ass. This is our
Yes.
group
Okay.
action.
So you're gonna both like kind of tackle him at the same time, or you define how you're approaching. But what is your goal?
To incapacitate him.
To incapacitate him. Okay, very good. So let me know what action you're using. I just want to check group action one more time, because last time I told
Right.
you that you could each use a different version, a different action.
Different
But I
action,
just
yeah.
want to make sure. Describe how your character leads the team in a coordinated effort. Each PC who's involved makes an action roll using the same action.
Okay, same action.
Yeah, so I did it wrong last episode, and for those of you that know the rules, I sincerely apologize. But this time, everybody needs to use the same action. Who's leading this action?
Ekphilia, would you mind?
Of course.
Leading? Okay.
I think the most effective ones for me would be finesse or prowl. So if it's finesse, we dash on him. If it's prowl, we flank him and like hop up in front of him.
So this is where Juliet's like,
Are you either or?
I have 0 dots in both. Let's whichever you prefer.
I feel like I've been using finesse so much, I almost want to prowl.
You
I
wanna
this-
prowl?
I want this to be
Yeah.
the kind of thing where it's like he's struggling, and it's not a dash. It's almost a calm. Like he looks up, and it's like, Ekphilia's in front of him now.
Yes, and perhaps disorienting is that perhaps there's an echo in this chamber, and the weeping that Juliet is doing sort of bounces off the walls to not let you know which direction she may be coming from.
oh wow.
Great.
Perhaps.
So
Yeah.
So again, we both roll prowl, and
Right. So if Juliet fails, you take stress, Ekphilia.
oh boy, okay, that's fun. Okay, here we go. Is this controlled or desperate?
This is. I'm gonna say that this is risky for standard
Yeah.
effect.
That sounds about right. Here we go. Okay.
Standard effect. Oh God. Okay. Okay. No, it's the lower dice because I have 0 dice.
shit.
Oh,
So I
okay.
take stress.
We would have taken
So
the
what?
single best. We would have taken the single best die roll out of each of you.
That's true. 3. So,
But you take a
they're all
stress.
failures.
Yeah, they're all failures. You take a stress, Ekphilia, and I'm gonna rule that Charter forgets about getting the stiletto out of the heart right now, and just runs out into the main museum and
Okay.
gets away from you. Okay.
Is the heart still here? Did he just let go of the heart?
No, he has the heart, but he forgot about pulling the stiletto free, and just when he saw that you were trying to flank him, he knocked over another another exhibit and ran. So there's a
Okay.
huge shattering sound, and then he is out into the main cabinet floor, the plaza. And Valkos, did you enter?
No, I'm kind of hovering at the door. Like I can at the door. Can you see in some theaters you can see through the glass?
Yeah, in fact, this is more of a portcullis.
Right.
It's
okay.
it's like an iron door with just bars.
Okay. I kind of hovered at the door, looked behind, and I'm like, fuck. and I kind of put myself. I'm gonna hide, and kind of because I think that because I remember that there's guards in here. I'm not the talker. I'm in no shape to fight. So I'm gonna put myself like almost around the hide in a position where I can see everything that's about to happen, because I'm sure the guards are gonna come out of there and be like, oh my god, we need help because of the sight that they've seen, right? And so they're probably gonna go call in. The hope is they call in for more people to come see this to then make my way in. So I'm using this time to bide my time and wait.
So, and you're gonna be hidden as well, and I'll allow you to
hide.
Yeah, I'll allow you to hide. You're kind of in like a little alcove right outside the door. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay, understood. So here's what happens now. You are able to see this, Valkos. I don't know that Ekphelia and Juliet see this. Charter runs out. The two guards inside immediately clock Charter. Charter says, "Thieves! Thieves! They're trying to rob the restricted section! You have to stop them!" And Charter
Isn't he
rolls.
holding? Like,
he's holding.
He is holding the heart, but
which has been depowered somewhat
that
because
is
he
correct.
didn't take
That is absolutely correct. And now Charter is going to roll Charter's command. Okay.
Let's see.
oh man.
Which is how many dots does he have in
I
command?
guess we'll see.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. Charter fails.
Holy fuck.
Charter fails, and the guards are immediately like, "Hold! On your knees!" And Valkos, you watch as Charter like slowly gets to his knees, holding the heart, and you watch as his fingers reach toward the stiletto that's sticking out of it. And meanwhile, those that were chasing Charter, what do you do?
So maybe can we peek around and see the little tableau of him getting to his knees now?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Oh boy.
I tell you what, we gotta get the hell out of here. Is there, as we're leaving this room or whatever, are there any smaller boxes, smaller items I can take?
We
How
gotta
very
cover our.
interesting.
We gotta cover our.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm
investment.
not leaving another score with no money.
Okay, so I said that the things in here were heavily fortified, right? But I also said that he just knocked over something that had some sort of glass case, right? So I think that there was like kind of like a glass bubble or window on one of these heavily fortified cases, and it has just smashed to the ground and is laying there, and you can see like half of like a beautiful onyx necklace like kind of sticking out of it.
Okay, I'm taking it
You're grabbing it?
with
grabbing
a
it?
handkerchief.
Okay. So you're grabbing with a handkerchief. Interesting. Okay. It sounds like you're trying to remove this carefully. Is that right?
Sure. I mean, if I'm
Yes.
honest, okay. No, I mean, but if I'm honest, just probably just quickly trying to just grab something. I don't know how careful I am being about it.
You decided to be honest. I think that the second you do that, finally the security measures go off on the box, which are none. Charter was lying about the gas. There is no
Yeah, I
gas.
thought
You
he
were
was
able to quickly.
I
Yes,
thought
he was lying about that.
Yeah, I should have opened that
sorry,
box
I was
myself.
fucking with you. So you pull the necklace easily, and you now have a necklace of like onyx stones, and you notice that there's like a big ruby hanging from it.
Okay.
Okay. That's promising. Okay.
And
small.
show up behind Ophelia like, what's happened? We must leave.
It got in. Looks like looks a bit suspicious there, darling. We've got to get out of here. As much, but of course, everything in Ekfia is like, I've got to get out.
Oh. How much so peeking out? Are there other ways out, or is it like here's a hallway and there's the?
Was there a
It's
window
like a
in Fitz's
plaza,
office?
but there's only one exit in and out, really.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. The guards are very distracted right now.
All right. Can we try? We're in uniform. Can we try to slip by them and
Oh
go
yeah,
out?
let's do this officially.
Okay. So you're going to try to walk in plain sight and use the uniforms, or are you trying to like sneak?
Sneak.
Okay, very good. I think this is another group action. Unless you are opposed.
Yeah.
Unless you... Yeah?
So this is another
I'm
group
not opposed.
prowl.
I'm
Okay.
just making faces because this is terrifying.
It doesn't have to be prowl if you can figure out a different way to do it.
I mean, was there a window in Fitz's
Surely
office?
you guys could survey or like study.
I told you the windows are heavily barred.
Right. You could survey. That's very bad for me, but
I only have one dot. I think it's better that you have more than one dot in prowl, right? Yeah, so I think let's just try prowl again.
Let's try prowl again.
And
All right,
I
here we
will...
go.
here we go.
Okay, here we go. Actually, I would love if you haven't rolled yet, Ross, I would love for Josephine to go first.
Great.
What,
Go
and
for
what's
it,
the
Jess.
position?
It's desperate,
This
obviously.
is desperate. Okay, yeah.
But I'm going to give it to you for great effect. If you do this, you will be all the way to the door where Valkos
Okay.
is waiting.
Okay. Here we go. Nope. That's a
failure.
one. That's a one.
You take another stress, Ekphilia.
Okay. And you can maybe even see like that makeup starting to crack and flake a little bit. It's like a tremor is like occasionally like racking Ekphilia, and it's like, is it right? Right. That's the mouse there, darling.
Scared. I'm scared, Ophelia.
Nothing to be scared of. Nothing to be scared of.
Ooh, success.
I
with
rolled a
consequence.
5.
Success with a consequence. Here, I think I have a good idea for the consequence. You get all the way to the door. Valkos, you can now talk to them or reveal yourself if you'd like.
I'm gonna wait.
Waiting. Okay, great. The door is, of course, you're able to exit here. You hear voices coming from inside. The guards and Charter Swift Whistle, and Charter sounds like he's chanting again. And then from behind you, you hear bum, bum,
No.
bum, 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 bum. Stop! And you really want to stop. You really feel like your body is freezing up, like your feet won't move. What do you do? You can resist that consequence because it came off of a...
Oh my god.
You can resist that consequence because it came off of a roll.
But though, I don't know if I've got the stress now. Having
You guys can do this. You can do this. All right. Remember, resisting. You can roll more than one die. All right, guys. Depending on what you're trying to resist here.
Resolve is what you'd
It's
be
resolve,
using.
right?
It would be
so
resolve.
how many dots have we got in resolve?
1.
and it's 6 minus whatever the amount that you roll.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is actually,
That would mean that if I roll anything, I have 2 left. So if I rolled like anything other than a 4, I'd be
Anything
out.
lower than a 4,
Even,
yeah.
right.
Or- no,
but
or
even if
anything
you
lower
roll
than
a
a
4,
5.
you fill out.
If I roll a 4, I fill out. It has to be a 5 or a
What
6.
happens if you fill...
You are out of the score, but this feels like the end of the score. It does not necessarily mean you fall unconscious or incapacitated like we're playing 5e. It just means that you are out of the score. You can no longer do scoundrel stuff.
Just one of us...
That's true for you.
Yes,
if I
right,
fill up
yeah.
all my
Right.
stress, I
oh,
have
something happens. Don't tell
Yes,
us what it is
okay.
yet.
Yes.
great.
I was gonna say, Look, Juliet doesn't have any traumas. So, if I need to be the one to resist this, it might be time for Juliet to be traumatized finally by all of this shit.
oh my god.
Well, it was a group action, right?
Do we both have to do it to
I think
resist
both
it?
of you have to.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Why? You are both trying to break free of the spell of the Heart of Kotar, are you not?
Damn, what a consequence for a 5.
No, we're trying to,
okay.
we're trying to
okay,
resist
all
the
right,
consequence from even happening.
All right, counselor. I'm gonna say no problem. Who led the action?
God damn it, Ophelia did.
Ophelia did. So Ekphilia did. So you
Ekphilia.
are the one that must resist.
Okay, just me. Okay, here we go.
That's right.
All right, here comes the resistance.
6 stress minus.
Okay, whew, boy, it's really against me. But
You
so
roll your resolve.
great. So it feels like we made it, and it's like we made it. And as the voice of Ekaprag kind of drifts away, and it's back to a feel, it's like, we're going to get out of this, darling. We're going to get out of this, and then vroom, vroom, like the feeling, like the blood, like pounding in my head, like, and I try to resist. Here we go.
A 5. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And for a second, you can see, like, Philia, like, stop. It's like, no, I don't think today. As now I've got 1 stress left. Because I rolled a 5.
You rolled a
Shit,
5.
you rolled a 5.
1 stress left. We don't find out what a vampire, what happens to a vampire when it fully stresses out.
And I take your hand and I just keep walking, like 1 foot in front of the other, 1 foot in front of the other.
Yes.
You walk out. Juliet is weeping when you finally walk past Valkos.
I kind of come out and I'm like, are you all right? Move. And I just move with them.
You're moving down the street through the Imperial City.
I'm like, say, Fitz, he tricked us. He tried to fuck us. He tried to kill me. I think I killed him. I don't know.
If you killed him, then we would smoke, I guess.
Crow's Veil. I mean, he kind of killed himself in a way.
A little bit.
That's right.
Yes.
So maybe
Yeah,
not.
I just went,
Either way, I think that you should do your Crow's Veil, and you do. As you guys are exiting, like, and by the way, it's not like something that people could see just walking down the street. It's totally spiritual. It's like it exists in the ghost field. So your Crow's Veil activates, and a cloud of shadow comes out of your mouths and nostrils as you walk, and you leave wisps of shadow behind you. And that is how you're going to slowly walk into the city, with like a cloud, a cloak of shadow drifting behind you, or roiling like a fog. Remember, we started the episode with the fog? Well, now there's like a fog around you. And that's how the Remnant escaped the Cabinet of Curiosities. And now here's a long block of soft rock to take you through the night.
Oh my god.
Let's have a little bit of a epilogue.
Yeah.
I think the score is over.
yeah, man.
I'm
but
an
go on.
idiot. I forgot that we had those like heartbeat rate, right, to like let each other know when we're in like dire circumstances and shit.
That's so true.
I had 100% forgot that existed entirely for these scenarios when we're apart from each other and knowing that things are going like badly.
Yeah.
Well, still,
Anyway.
you dealt with the Fitz situation
Hindsight.
really well. I blame myself for not reading their thoughts way earlier and knowing that they were pulling a trick on us right from jump. But on the other hand, if things had gone south, Ekphilia might be not doing so good right now because I didn't have that much stress to spend.
Okay.
We got
Very
it
good.
close.
But I guess Charter isn't like dashing after our gang as we slip away into the streets.
Charter's dealing with the Imperial military, so you are able to dash away into the city. And let's have a bit of an epilogue before we get into downtime. And I think we'll have time for a little bit of downtime today. Before we get into downtime, do you stay in the Imperial city and or do you get out immediately?
Fuck this place.
Yeah, I hate this place.
23 skidoo.
Like, this is
We're out.
like horrendous. No.
Okay, no problem.
And it's like a silent ride, right? Like
Yeah.
battered, beaten, quiet, slight weeping.
So you guys, you made sure that you had like citizenship papers, right? At one point. And they're not as locked up and it's not as difficult to leave as it is to get in, right? And you have your stolen object, I assume, in Ekprag's special case, right?
Yeah.
So I will allow you to get back on the train to Doskvol. And soon, as soon you are leaving the Imperial City, sitting on the bench, exhausted, Ekaprag's makeup all messed up. Juliet, finally you stop. Well, no, I said that it's a level 1 harm, so until it's gone, Juliet always has tears coming down her face.
Oh my god.
You may not be openly like bawling, but like you can't get rid of the tears. I said before, like the other passengers were avoiding Ekphilia. Now they're avoiding all 3 of you. Because you look like you've just been through the ringer. And as you pull out of the Imperial City, as time passes, and the train goes down the line, it gets darker and darker. And soon you go across the horizon up over a rise, and the light of the Emperor's sorceress sun is out, and you are traveling through darkness again, back toward Doskvol. Many hours pass. There's a change over in White Hollow, and a full day later, exhausted, almost, I mean, like, passed out from exhaustion and from the things that have happened to you, the emotional experiences, the supernatural experiences that worked upon your minds. You stumble out into Gaddock Station, and immediately you feel so much more comfortable. The sky is an eerie, dim twilight. People moving around the station look like they have various sorts of poxes. Everyone is pale and sickly looking. And you can see hawkers here in the station peddling like sexual elixirs and elixirs that increase your attunement to the ghost field. Clearly, snake oil, and you think, home. And so, let us begin our downtime, and we can continue it in our next session. And in order to do that, I just have to open to our downtime chapter. But let's have a little free play first. What does everybody do when they get back to Doskvol?
Just, back at base.
Back to the grotto?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Back to the grotto. I think just like making our mushroom soup quietly, like, and I think finally sort of also putting what we found, what Juliet took on the table. I don't know what this is worth, but it better be worth something for all that we did.
Would you like to look into that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you get the idea that this is a valuable necklace by any objective point of view. However, you get the idea that if you sell it to just a regular black marketer, you're going to get 4 coin. But if you're able to find a buyer who has interest in the occult and in various strange artifacts, you can get the full 6 coin that you were trying to extract.
Okay. Do any of us have contacts that would be...
I'm just going to remove Fitz a collector from your
right,
contacts.
from ours? Yeah, I know. Are we going to get a new one?
So the crew can choose among their contacts Dowler, an explorer, LaRose, a bluecoat, Amancio, a deal broker, Adelaide Freud, a noble, and Rigney, a tavern owner. Those are people that you can choose as a contact, or if any of you have individual contacts that you think would be helpful here.
There was a broker of some kind in that list.
A deal broker to help us get a better deal in this?
Or,
Or an explorer, perhaps. I don't know that I have a feeling. So I still have Stasia on my friends.
An apothecary.
Didn't she get
No, she's on our side.
She is on our side still?
I think
She
so.
got rolled by the blue coats at some
I didn't
point.
take her tongue.
She
so
did
it's
get
all
rolled
good.
by the blue coats, but I don't think that she did. I don't
Okay.
think she gave you all up, and even if
No.
she did, you might not know that.
Yeah, I think
I don't know. Unless does anyone have a better friend? I don't know who.
I
don't think I have.
selected Lilandra, a consort, maybe one of Ecoprag's old friends, who maybe has an in with some higher class people who might be someone
yeah.
who can move contraband.
Okay. A consort. A consort. How do we define a consort? Do we think?
That seems almost more like a
It seems like a companion, maybe, of the type that you visited in Imperial City. No.
right, but maybe even more like long term, like a Nell Gwyn sort of like your wife and all, or husband and all but name, like
The girlfriend experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get into our payoff. Should we get into XP first?
Yeah.
Let's get into the payoff. Let's get into the payoff because we're talking about that, and then we'll get into XP.
Yeah.
Payoff. You earn 2 rep by default, and then you earn rep +1 per higher tier. So I think that the Imperial City, the Imperial military, and the Heart of Qatar were all higher tier than you. The Heart was like 2 tiers higher than you, but I think just dealing with the Imperial City in general, you were able to find ways of not directly taking on the Imperial military, which was really smart because they are a tier 6 faction, and fighting them would have been absolutely impossible. But I was allowing you to lie to them because I don't think that they're invincible against that.
Right.
Lying to Ministry of Preservation agents might have been too difficult because they're like a tier 4 or 5 faction. I can't remember. But again, you never lied to them. You kind of lied to the military and got through things that way. Very cleverly done. I'm going to split the difference between all that and say you get 4 more rep.
Wow.
Okay.
That was a giant 3-part score, and you deserve at least that much rep.
Yay.
I'm going to say if you agree to take... I don't think a consort can help you find an occultist.
that doesn't sound right.
I think that you can either go to... Remember that you have factions that you're friendly with, and some of them are
Ring?
supernatural. Exactly. Exactly. I think that if you go to
Path of Echoes.
the Path of Echoes, you may be able to move this thing.
Yeah.
So I
Let's
should
do
probably
that.
take it then, right? Or we can all
Yeah.
take it. I mean, I don't know if Ecphelia... I say Ecphelia, I might be like, you look worse for wear. I suggest Juliet and I go and see the Path of Echoes. I've consulted with them a lot, and I think you're... Let's just say it's better if you hold back, my dear friend.
So be it. If you've already forged in accord with them, Valkos, then perhaps they're more liable to trust a certified client. As for me, I'll go about some personal business. Bit peckish.
So, Valkos, Ring meets you on the pier where you normally have your rendezvous. And Ring looks over the necklace and says, I do think that some of our scholars would be interested in this. Ring, of course, you can never quite tell if Ring is male or female, and Ring is always covered in scarves and like a heavy coat. And Ring stands, the coat is whipped by the wind out on the pier, and Ring says, yes, our scholars would love to get a look at this. Of course, the Path of Echoes has been protecting you in your absence. So, we'll need you to pay your protection fee. And I'll just say, before you immediately try to stab Ring, that paying up to the gang who is your patron.
We have to do, right?
You have to do it.
So I was just gonna say, like, I'm like, how much?
Well, let's see.
What do we normally pay?
I think that you pay off.
Coin, right?
Yeah, ask the GM if there's a boss you should be paying. Subtract coin equal to your tier +1 when you pay a tithe to a boss or larger organization. So this is 6 coin minus 2. So you're gonna earn 4 coin here.
That's fine. I mean, it's better than.
Okay.
But yeah, I
kind
kind
of
of look
paid
to Ring
anyway.
and kind of bow my head and like, I understand.
Ring takes the necklace and says, follow me. And it takes you back through the circuitous route to the temple and goes inside and speaks to some people. And soon one of the acolytes of the Path of Echoes comes forward with a small strong box that they hand to you, Valkos.
Take the box.
And you earn 4 coin. Now let's talk about our XP. Let's do individual XP first.
Do we
But also,
add the
should
4
we-
coin to our vaults?
Well, let's do
Yes.
one. Or do you want to do 1 coin each and then 1 to our crew vault?
Yeah. Okay.
And do we have to upgrade the vault soon in order to hold all of
I
this?
think we've already upgraded it to full.
Yeah, we've upgraded our vault.
Oh, that was smart. Okay. So, how much did you enter the coin
already-
into the vault?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
already-
did. Yeah.
Very
Oh, yeah,
smart. Thank you for doing that.
Wait.
Because we already had 4. We already had 5 in our vault.
Yes,
Did you just
and
put
so I
1?
added the
Okay,
6. Yes,
Amazing.
yes.
Great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was so stupid of me to throw 3 gold at bloody prostitutes.
I'm looking at the sheet right now and I don't see all of the coin, but how much coin
In the
should you have?
shadows? Sheet?
Yeah, under shadows. Yeah, I'm
No,
looking
we
at
should
like
have 6.
6 coin. Oh, you have 6 altogether?
Yeah, 6.
Yes, that's
Great.
all we have.
That's okay. No, that's a lot. That's great. Okay, so the coin has been been
I
adequately.
don't see any money here.
Okay, so now let's do individual XP, and we will start with Juliette Belrose, if that's okay. Juliette,
Yes,
you filled up your insight.
Yes.
Would you like to move that would you like to move any of that onto your playbook, or would you like to take another dot in your insight?
I'll take another dot in my insight. I'll put it in survey. Yeah.
Okay, great. Plunk it in there. Great. And the rest of it goes, that goes away. And then we go down here. Did you address a challenge with technical skill or mayhem? Yes, take that.
Do we get to argue to take this twice since it can happen multiple times?
Oh, interesting. Why would you take
We
it
did this
twice?
we did this over multiple days. There's multiple we did have multiple instances of using technical skill and forgeries and mayhem between
Take
what's
it twice.
his face? Thank you. Okay.
And you filled your playbook. So, that means you get to take a new special ability.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think that through. I'll think about what special ability I want to.
Think about it, okay?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and erase that, though, and you have a special ability coming to you.
Okay.
So we're going to erase what you have, and then I'm going to be a super nice GM and let you start filling from here again.
Ooh.
So you expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. How did you do that?
Sparkrite.
As a former
You
Sparkrite?
said-
Yeah, I
yeah.
pretended
Yeah.
to be a Sparkrite. Yeah. I
Take
did
one
call
for
on
that. You
I
struggled
don't
with issues
know.
from a vice
Yeah.
or traumas during your session.
My vice is obligation to I mean, struggling with Ophelia being there, I feel like it'd be too easy to take that every time because watching her murder I think realizing her body changing and her murdering.
Yeah, I mean,
What was
actually,
his face?
me telling you who Ophelia was or is now.
Well,
I guess, and you not necessarily fighting against that is probably a way of being like, of going for it. You contained your feelings. You struggle. You were able to kind of hold back what could have been quite an ugly PvP score.
There was that whole moment.
Yeah.
At the,
A different interpretation would be you get the XP if you did turn it into an ugly PvP score. Because that would make it more difficult.
But I think that there are actions we took that were based off of not vexing.
Please name one of those actions.
One of the actions? Well, when we were outside, this is RP, right? This is RP specific. When we were outside the room speaking, right, like while Ekphilia was inside with, what was his name?
There was a whole scene about it. You know what? Take it.
Primo.
And that'll be 2 left in your playbook. Please choose your special ability while I talk to Valkos.
Yes.
Okay, right. Valkos.
So I had filled up all my prowess, but I want to take 2 away from that and add it to the add it to the playbook.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead and do that.
So yeah, I'll take 2 away from there. Cool. Should we go with the rest?
Yeah, let's go with the rest. You addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. That's always true of Valkos.
I did that definitely twice.
Yeah,
one in the
go ahead, tell me when.
Okay. So I did one in with the weird pulled back hair person. That was terrifying. And obviously with Fitz and the charter guy.
Charter Swiftwhistle.
Yep.
Your new arch enemy. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes. I feel like I did that. I feel like I actually did that. I did that once. No, I did that twice, actually. So the first time was when we were walking through and you were like, oh, look at these shaman things. And I was like, it's all fake. And then the second time I was like, piece of flesh, mate. That's what we do back in where I'm from.
Okay, I'll give you 1.
Okay.
And you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, the idea of being with people, I mean, actually, maybe. I mean, I ended up spending 3 gold with people and just sitting around and charming them and talking to them.
Well, I'll tell you something. You're going to fill up your XP playbook advancement anyway because you have the special ability Vengeful.
Oh, yes.
You get payback against someone who harmed you or someone
the crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
If your crew helped you get payback, you also mark the crew XP. I think only you got the payback. You got payback against Fitz.
Yeah.
So you can go ahead and mark that, and you are owed a special ability,
and
my friend.
I know what that ability is.
Which one is it?
You already know?
Yep. And it actually occurred to me the last session. So I think depending on how well it goes in the next in the downtime, I think I'm not going to say anything until we do a bit more downtime stuff. But I know how it comes about.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna surprise us.
I am.
Then let's move on to our vampire then. And I have this list of characters, and I always have to go to Ross's character number 4.
Here's a question: we've got that as a crew. We've got that everybody steals ability, which adds a point to prowl.
Oh, that was already.
Finesse or Tinker.
Was that already on? Oh, Finesse or Tinker. Was that already on my vampire sheet, or do I still get to add that?
It was probably on Echoprags, right? Did you combine?
It was on Echoprags, and we
you combined it. Great.
Totally.
Just to clarify. Okay, great. So
so it looks like none of your attributes are filled.
That's because as a vampire, all of them are longer, so you advance slower.
Oh wow.
So, but if I combine them, I'm thinking I just might be able to get a playbook advancement just because of the sheer quantity of desperate actions that we're taking.
Okay, so do you want to move all of those desperate action XP into your playbook XP?
I do.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, but I'm afraid your playbook XP you need 4 more.
That's right.
In order to get a playbook advancement.
I think I might have it.
Oh, right. Okay, so you displayed your dominance or slayed without mercy.
Yes, I did.
Wow, these playbook triggers are scary.
Mm-hmm. And I think, I mean, Was that once or is that
Wait,
twice?
that's how you get What?
He's a
I'm
monster.
going to allow it. You displayed your dominance and slayed without mercy. Yes. You expressed your beliefs, drive, heritage, or background. I think there was a lot of ecopragmas.
Yeah,
in the seeking out of vice dens, in the use of theatrical makeup and chests. Yeah.
Yep. And then finally, you struggled with issues from your vice traumas or strictures during the session. Not from your strictures.
Not from my strictures, which I haven't really clarified, but as a vampire, you select a stricture, like, and if you when you gain a new vampire trait, so when you add a playbook trait, you also add a stricture. So there's this balance. Right. The one I chose is bound, which is, I think there's still some part of Ecoprag that's awake in Ecphilia, and he's not letting her leave. So a normal vampire without this stricture would be able to leap from dead body to body. But if Ecoprag's body dies, Ophelia is destroyed. She is bound to the body of Ecoprag Wodi.
Speaking of which, I really need to put more fatal harm into the game. Okay.
But
how
that
did you
didn't
struggle with
factor in.
issues from your vice?
What is my vice? It's to suck the life essence of people. Did I do that on this score? Very much so. I believe one of my many traumas is ruthless. Another would be vicious. And I think torturing a sex worker with a acupuncture needle counts as both those things.
I do too. Please take the final point of XP, which upgrades your playbook as well.
All right.
And do you know what your new special ability will be?
I do. I am going to select the ability of Sinister Guile, which is during downtime, I get an additional downtime activity, or I get to add +1 die to the downtime activity rolls that I take.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
But I also have to take a stricture. So
do you want to tell us what that is?
What?
Maybe we'll find that out next time when it crops up.
I think we will.
Yeah.
And I think that's a perfect place to end for today.
Do you want me to choose? I have an ability otherwise for the XP that I...
You want to tell me what your new special ability is? Let's save it for next time.
We'll save it for next time.
Let's make it a surprise.
And Jared, can I offer just one little scenelet here as you go towards the end?
Sure.
Yeah. Just that like in an inn somewhere in the Imperial City, like a road weary, like a fellow who's been on the train all day, like puts down a case and is like, been a long day. And it's like, what's that smell? Like is like snuffling around in his room, like opening a window, like wincing against the false sunlight, and then is like crouches down. It's like, what the? And raises up some bedclothes in a little inn hotel room, and staring back at him are the cloudy, dead eyes and smiling face of Primo underneath the bed.
We couldn't find a better way to end it.
Genius.
That's our show. We'll be back with more game next week. Thank you, Salim, Josephine McAdam, and Ross Bryant.
Thank you.
You guys are sickos, and so are you that are listening and watching. A bunch of freaks and sickos. We'll see you next time.